What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Modern Philosopher. Today, I'm going to be giving some advice for us young men. I got a video I'm about to share with you guys, so go ahead and watch this video. As always, don't forget to like, share, and comment and subscribe because I'm trying to get to 50 subscribers by the end of this month. It's quickly approached, so guys, go ahead and hit the like button. Leave me a little comment down below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on the topic. And as always, share with your friends and family because I think it's important that we all help each other figure out the answers to life's biggest questions. So without further ado, here's that video.
A recent rise in what are being called lonely single men. And when you look at the numbers, the trend is pretty clear. If you take a look at this chart from Pew, the percentage of men that are without a spouse or a partner has been increasing from back in 1990 at 29% of those between 25 and 54. It's now, I'm not great at numbers, but I'm gonna say 50% higher at 38. Now, you do have a rise in cohabitation that is becoming more common, but even when you consider that, there are more men of sort of prime dating years that are not dating or married. And the data shows that fairly clearly. It's been rising for about 30 years. And in fact, now men are more likely than women to be unpartnered. That was not the case several decades ago. You can actually take a look at that trend over time in this next chart.
Okay, so let's talk about this right now. There is a trend with us males that we are now, single and lonely and things like that too. And I do see this with my very own eyes out in our lovely society that we live in. But I want to talk about this with us fellas. This is mostly with the guys. So ladies, you might get pissed off at some of the things that I say, and I understand why. But this is to help us guys understand how to become better in a sense, right? I talk a lot about understanding what it is that you want out of life, guys. I talk a lot about understanding what kind of man you want to be. And I do think that those two things are very important, especially when it comes to relationships. Number one issue I see that we have is we have made dating a thing that is meant to be continued all the time, when in reality dating has an expiration date. When you date somebody, it's for the purpose of entering into a relationship, so you and that individual know that this section of the relationship that we're in has an end. It's not supposed to be sustained, right? It's not supposed to be like, I keep paying for time that you spend with me. It's not supposed to be sustained. There's a point where you got to be like, okay, now let's actually move and progress a little further. But also number two, we have made this kind of, it's called what it is, a hookup culture. And a lot of us guys are losing. And the reason a lot of us guys are losing, because this hookup culture is primarily based off of attraction. And that attraction is either physical, financial, or social status, essentially, those three things. And if you're an average guy, really, you're gonna lose out, because if you're not blessed with the handsome genes, if you don't have money in your pocket that you can burn, or if you're just not that good at communicating with girls like that, you're probably going to miss out. So it makes total sense why us as men and in the ages of 25 to 55, we're not having success in dating, because number one, it's not supposed to be a long-term thing. And number two, if your only goal is to have short-term fun, well, people are going to want the best that they can have. And if we're average, we're obviously not the best. But now, guys, I say all that to say this, man. You gotta understand what it is that you want. Do you want the short-term fun, or do you want the stable relationship? And that's essentially the choice you gotta make, because you can't have both. Dating has its own expiration date if you're serious about the person that you're wanting to actually be with, that you're pursuing after. Not chasing, pursuing. I'll state the difference in a minute here. But it has an expiration date. However, if you're just wanting to have your fun, if you're just wanting to go out there and, meet new girls every week, well then, this message probably is not for you. But if you're the guy who wants a relationship, first of all, quality over quantity. That's what I'll tell you. Quality over quantity. What does that mean? That means that the type of women that you go after is more important than simply getting any woman. All right, what kind of woman do you actually want to be in a relationship with? If you're just going after every girl who has a pretty face and smiles at you and says nice things to you, well, you might lose out a lot, because not every girl is for you. Not every girl is going to be the girl that knows how to sustain a relationship. Some of them are just out to have fun, just like some guys out there too. So you got to understand, number one, don't just pick up any random girl and think that it's going to work out, because it's probably not going to. The type of woman, and you got to know what she looks like. If you want to know, go look at the people who've been married and see what qualities the women in those long-term marriages possess that you can start looking for now in a future wife. All right. So I said earlier that you should, as a man, you should pursue a woman and never chase. In Proverbs chapter 30, really in the book of Proverbs, it warns men about pursuing after women. And the reason why you shouldn't, not pursuing, but chasing after women, the reason why you shouldn't chase after women is because it's going to cost you a lot of money. And that's essentially what dating is. It just costs you money because you're chasing after this girl. You're trying to tell her that you like her and that you're not the best, but you're willing to take care of her. And you're spending all this money, you're spending all your time that you're probably not going to get back. And if you do this consistently, you're just going to keep spending money on women that are not going to really engage in a relationship with you. So you shouldn't chase. I'm sorry, I get those two words mixed up. You shouldn't chase after a woman. You should pursue after her. And here's really the difference. If you pursue someone, right? If you're chasing somebody, they're running away from you. But if you pursue someone, they're leading you somewhere. So if you're pursuing a woman and she's leading you into a relationship, that's the kind of woman you want to be with, okay? And last thing I'll say before I let you guys go, man, is, guys, I think we have to come to a place in our lives where we are okay with being single. Now, loneliness is not necessarily a thing that comes from a lack of intimate relationship, but it's more just a thing of where you just feel alone in your own world. And the cure to that is just to surround yourself with people who care about you. Your friends, if you have, really good friends, then go out there and go hang out with your friends. If you don't, my suggestion to you would be go out into the world and do things that you like to do and see the people that like to do the same things as that. If you have certain interests, if you have certain hobbies, if you like sports, go find the people that you can indulge in those things with that are willing to, spend time with you. If you have good family relationships, go spend time with your family. So that loneliness in itself, you don't need to be in an intimate relationship in order to actually not be lonely. You just have to surround yourself with people who care about you, and you don't need everyone. You just need two or three people that care about you, and you're good to go. But guys, I think we have to learn how to be okay single. A lot of us are looking to relationships as the final goal in our lives. Like, once I get married, that's it. I've attained everything I need. But the reality is there is more to life after that marriage, after that relationship. You got to get into the habit. You got to get into the habit of saying, okay, I'm in this relationship or I'm in this marriage, but what is my personal purpose? Does this marriage fall in line with the purpose or the direction I want my life to head into? Does this relationship help me accomplish that goal? If it doesn't, hey, maybe spend some time by yourself so that you know what your purpose as a man is and that you are focused on getting there. Because here's another thing I'll tell you too. You have to be with someone who is equally yoked. What that means is someone who is of a like mind, someone who understands where you're trying to go and is willing to go there with you. A lot of men out there are in the world on a singular purpose, and yet they're going out of their own way to go meet somebody or to go talk to somebody, to go be in a relationship with someone who's heading in a different direction than they are. And that's what gets us in a lot of trouble. That's why you see a lot of relationships fall apart, because people are heading in two different directions, and that conflict's been building up and building up and building up, and it just tears the whole relationship apart. So guys, number one, best advice, really the top 3 advice I tell you: stop dating. Don't not pursue after women, but stop dating. Stop playing the game. Stop trying to be the guy that gets all the girls. I promise you, it's not as satisfying as you think it is. It'll be satisfying for all the 15 or 20 minutes, and then afterwards you'll be like, dang, there's got to be more than this. Okay, so stop trying to play the dating game. Number 2, be intentional about the kind of woman that you want to be with. Like, don't just go out there and just try to get with any random chick, but be intentional about the woman you want to be with, and be a man that is capable of attracting that woman, right? Don't just be out there and be like, I want a good woman who supports me, and you're a guy who does nothing. No, be the guy that she wants to be with. And number 3, most importantly, guys, understand that you have to spend some time by yourself first and be single, right? Surround yourself with friends and family so you're not lonely, but understand that sometimes you got to spend some time single so that you can understand your purpose. You can understand the direction of your life. and you can see the woman that's going to help you get there, or at least who's going in the same direction as you. Anyway, guys, that's the word for the day. I hope you guys understood what I was trying to say. I hope it made sense. I'm not the best relationship expert, but I do all right for myself. Deuces.